Good morning, students. Today we will see about the solved question paper of the model question paper of 2016 scheme. It have one long essay that means define preeclampsia, enumerate the signs and symptoms of preeclampsia, explain the management of a client with preeclampsia who are completed 32 weeks of gestation age, which I already discussed earlier. The short have two short essay which carry 7 mark each. The first short essay is explain the postoperative management of a woman who had undergone abdominal hysterectomy. So the postoperative care assess for signs of hemorrhage. Hemorrhage is the more common after vaginal hysterectomy than abdominal hysterectomy. Monitor vital signs every 4 hours, auscultate lungs every shift, and measure intake output. These data are important indicators of hemodynamic status and complications. Once the catheter has been removed, measure the amount of urine voided. Assess for complications including infection, ileus, shock or hemorrhage, thrombophlebitis, and pulmonary embolus. Assess vaginal discharge. Instruct the woman in perineal care. Assess the incision and bowel sound every shift. Encourage toning, coughing, deep breathing, and early ambulation. Encourage adequate fluid intake. Teach to splint the abdomen and cough deeply. Teach the use of incentive spirometer. Instruct to restrict physical activity for 4 to 6 weeks. Heavy lifting, stair climbing, douching, tampons, and sexual intercourse should be avoided. The woman should be shower, avoiding tub bath until bleeding has ceased. Infection, hemorrhage are the greatest postoperative risk. Restricting activities and preventing introduction of any foreign material into the vagina helps to reduce this risk. Explain the woman that she may feel tired for several days after surgery and need to rest periodically. Explain that appetite would be depressed and bowel elimination may sluggish. These are the after effect of general anesthesia, handling of the bowel during surgery, and loss of muscle tone in bowel while empty. Teach the woman to recognize the signs of complications that should report to the physician or the nurse, that are temperature greater than 100 Fahrenheit, vaginal bleeding that is greater than a typical menstrual period or bright red, urinary incontinence, urgency, burning of frequency, severe pain. And encourage the woman to express the feelings that may be signal of negative self-concept, correct any misconception. Some women believe that hysterectomy means weight gain, the end of sexual activity, and growth of facial hair. Provide information on risk and benefits of hormone replacement therapy if indicated. If ovaries have also been removed, the woman is immediately thrust into a menopause and may want or need hormone replacement therapy. Reinforce the need of obtaining gynecological examination regularly even after hysterectomy. Explain the various methods of the second short essay was explain the various methods of assessing fetal well-being in neonatal pregnancy. The fetal well-being is divided into early pregnancy and late pregnancy. The early pregnancy it is biochemical, biophysical, and cytogenic. The biochemical include MSIFP, triple thrust, inhibin A, PAPA-A, UE3, acetylcholinesterase. Biophysical include USG estimation of crown to rump length, knuckle translucency. And cytogenic include amniocentesis, chorionic villus sampling, and chorosynthesis. Late in pregnancy, it is divided into biophysical, clinical, and biochemical. Biophysical includes CTG, non-stress test, biophysical profile, Doppler ultrasound, contraction stress test, ultrasound, ultrasonography, amniotic fluid volume, vibroacoustic stimulation. The clinical include weight of the fetus, assessment of size of the uterus, clinical assessment of scanty liquor, abdominal girth, DFMC or cardiac count formula or kick chart. Biochemical include estimation of pulmonary surfactant, shake test, form stability test, presence of phosphotriglycerol, saturated phosphatidylcholine, amniotic fluid optic density. All this done measured to assess the pulmonary maturity of the fetus. This has been in detail I have been explained in another video. The short notes, the first short note is care of women during first stage of labor. It includes admission to the delivery unit, enema, perineal shape, fluid and food by mouth, IV infusion, position ambulation, medication, monitoring the maternal physiological changes include vital signs, renal system, GI system, hematological changes, monitoring fetal well-being, normality of the fetal life, presentation, attitude, position by per abdominally, fetal adaptation to the pelvis and fetal heart rate and pattern, evaluation of progress of labor, prevention of infection and pain management. Management of a client with atonic postpartum hemorrhage. The principles include communication, resuscitation, monitoring, and arrest of bleeding. Immediate measures include call for extra help, put in 2 large bore IV cannula, keep the patient flat and warm, send the blood for grouping and cross-matching and any other diagnostic test which is pending. Ask for 2 units of blood at least. Infuse rapidly 2 liters of normal saline plasma substitute. Give oxygen by mask 10 to 15 liters. Start 20 units of oxytocin in 1 liter of normal saline IV and rate of 60 drops per minute. Monitor the following like pulse, blood pressure, respiratory rate and by oximeter. Type and amount of fluids patient receiving, urine output, continuous catheterization. Drugs we have not the type, dose and time, central venous pressure if it is in place. The actual management for atonic uterus, the first stage, massage the uterus, make it hard and express blood clot, Methergine 0.25 milligram IV, injection oxytocin 10 units in 500 ml normal saline at the rate of 4 to 60 drops per minute. Fluid is catheter to monitor the urine output. Examine the expelled placentate for the evidence of missing cotyledons of membranes. If the uterus fails to contract, then proceed to step 2. Explore the uterus under general anesthesia. In refractory cases, injection 15 methyl PGF2 alpha to 50 microgram IM in deltoid muscles in every 15 minutes. Maximum dose is 2 milligram. Or misoprostol PGE1 1000 microgram per rectum. If attenuated due to tocolytic drug, calcium gluconate 1 gram IV is slowly given. Step 3. Uterine massage and bimanual compressions. Continuous compression for a prolonged period of time until the tone of uterus is gained. Absence of bleeding. If the compression is released, indicate regaining of tone. Stimulate uterine contraction and direct hemostatic pressure in open uterine sinuses. Antibiotics should be given plugged and should be removed after 24 hours. Useful in case of uncontrolled postpartum hemorrhage where the other methods have failed and patient is being prepared for the transport to a tertiary care center. The sixth question was care of preterm babies. Optimal management at birth. Give vitamin K 1 milligram. Prevent hemorrhage. Promptly try and keep warm with gentle handling. Cord has to be clamped quickly to prevent hypovolemia and development of hyperbilirubinemia. Maintain body temperature. Positioning. Change the baby's position from prone position. It relieves abdominal discomfort, passage of platters and prevent aspiration. Kangaroo mother care and oxygen therapy. Feeding and nutrition. Babies below 1.2 kg gestation or below 30 weeks of sick baby should be started IV dextrose solution. Nutrition supplement when the baby is stable and tolerate HNL feeding, EB, express breast milk, fortified multivitamin and folic acid can be given. Gentle rhythmic stimulation, prevention of nosocomial infection, strict hand washing before and after touching the baby and minimal handling. Impaired gas exchange related to the immature pulmonary functioning, ineffective thermoregulation related to the lack of subcutaneous fat, altered nutrition, impaired gas exchange related to the immaturity of pulmonary functioning, ineffective thermoregulation related to the lack of subcutaneous fat. The seventh question is cause of female infertility. That also we have been discussed in detail in another video. The eighth question was adolescent pregnancy. Adolescent pregnancy can be defined as a teenage or underage girl, usually between the age of 13 to 19, or becoming pregnant. The primary prevention, teaching regarding sexuality and comprehensive health care to adolescents. Secondary prevention, accessible contraceptive services to sexually active teenagers. And tertiary prevention include easily accessible perinatal care, family planning and follow-up care for the infants. Risk and consequences of adolescent pregnancy include hypertensive disorders, anemia, poor weight gain, HIV infection, other sexually transmitted diseases, iodine deficiency, growth during pregnancy, increased risk of cephalopelvic disproportion. During labor and delivery, cephalopelvic disproportion and prolonged labor, postpartum hemorrhage, inability to adapt postpartally, increased operative interference. Outcome of pregnancy, there may be preterm birth, small for gestational age, perinatal and infant mortality rate, maternal mortality and morbidity. Problems of the infant include preterm and low birth weight infants, respiratory distress syndrome, tetanus seizures, apnea, nutrition, necrotizing enterocolitis, hypoglycemia, pneumonia. Long-term perspectives include nutrition, poor nutritional status, psychological development affected, language development also is affected. Differentiate between carnial small and hereditary form. Hydrodymbo mole, it is an abnormal condition of the placenta where there are partially degenerative and partially proliferative changes in the young chorionic villi. The HCG level is elevated. There are mainly two types, that is partial and complete. The main clinical features include vaginal bleeding, varying degree of abdominal pain and expulsion of grape-like vesicles per vaginally. The main treatment includes suction evacuation of the uterus and follow-up is mandatory. Carneous mole, otherwise known as bloody mole, fleshy mole, tuberous mole. It is a pathological variant of missed abortion affecting the fetus before 12 weeks. All small repeated hemorrhage in the choriodecidual space disrupt the villi from its attachment. The bleeding is slight, so it does not cause rupture of the decidua capsularis. The total blood with contained ovum is known as a blood mole. By this time, the ovum becomes dead and is either completely aborted or remains a rudimentary structure. Gradually, the fluid portion of the blood surrounding the ovum gets absorbed and the wall becomes fleshy, hence the term fleshy or carneous mole. Difference between caput succrinum and cephalhematoma. The indications, the extent of involvement and the causes of caput succrinum and cephalhematoma, period of absorption and treatment. 11th question, difference between symmetric and asymmetric intrauterine growth restriction. In symmetrical, it is uniformly small, etiology of genetic disease or infections, cell number is less, cell size is normal, neonate is complicated with poor prognosis. Asymmetrical include head larger than the abdomen, etiology chronic vascular insufficiency, total number of cell is normal, cell size small, neonate is usually uncomplicated, having good prognosis. Answer briefly. Complications of polyhydramnios. It can be maternal complications and fetal complications. Maternal complications again divided into during pregnancy, during labor, and during puerperium. During pregnancy, the complications include preeclampsia, malpresentations, premature rupture of membrane, preterm labor, external hemorrhage, or abruptio placenta. During labor, early rupture of the membranes, cord prolapse, uterine inertia, increased operative delivery, retained placenta, postpartum hemorrhage and shock. During puerperium, subinvolution, increased puerperal morbidity. And fetal complications are increased perinatal mortality. The 13th question, congenital anomalies of female genital tract. It has been discussed detail in another video, but I'll just tell the point. The failure of fusion of two Mullerian ducts lead to separate uterine horns. Failure of cavitation between them result in some degree of persistent uterine septum. Uncommonly, there is a cervical and vaginal duplication of the septate uterus. Vulva abnormalities include atresia, imperforate hymen, and labial fusion. Cervical abnormalities include atresia, double cervix, single hemicervix, and septate cervix. And temporary methods of contraception in females include natural bicalendula, temperature and mucous membrane, barrier methods, lactation, amenorrhea, withdrawal, and diaphragm method. Thank you. Thank you for listening.